Good evening to those who listen. It's July 12th, 2020, 10:48 p.m. And I wanted to continue. This is part 2 of the Martha Plimpton connection. It's not just Martha Plimpton. There's other people, and there's other things, and other TV shows, and other things involved. So I wanted to expand and tell you the whole thing, because the first part was amazing in itself, but there was so much more that happened. When we go back from the beginning, 1989, I met Martha Plimpton, and we kissed, and wasn't much to it. She told me she was in an episode of Family Ties. It took me 31 years to figure out who she was and to figure out what's going on. Why now? The whole question was, why now? Why didn't I discover this years ago? And why now? I think there's a connection to why now. It was also a strange coincidence that the movie theater, the week after I discovered all this, they put that movie up, which I went and saw, which was awesome. Okay, so anyway, I got some pictures, and I got a slideshow that we can go through while I'm explaining all this. Okay, so Keanu Reeves was also in the movie Parenthood, and he just got done doing the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure before he started filming for Parenthood in '89. February 17th was the day Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out. I'm guessing he probably started filming after that. I would think. I'm just guessing. So that's why I think I met Martha Plimpton in February or March of '89. So Keanu Reeves has a connection because, well, there's a few connections. The Phoenix brothers. Martha Plimpton was also involved with the Plimptons, River Phoenix, and I'll tell you about where there's a connection with River Phoenix, and there's, which I should have studied more, maybe a little connection with Joaquin Phoenix, who used to be known as Lee Phoenix back then. So Keanu Reeves, after 10 years later, did The Matrix, and in The Matrix, his name was, let me throw this up there. His name was Neo, and you guys know, I'm sure, that there's a comet right now, Comet Neowise. Neo and wise, wisdom. So I think there might be a connection with all this. Maybe not with Neowise. Maybe Neowise is just for the now part, because there's so much going on, and it happened right at this point. We now know that Comet Neowise is bright, and you can see it with your naked eye in the skies now. When did it start? Exactly, I'm not sure, but right around July 2nd is the roundabout time, and that was also the same time that I started realizing all this stuff that happened. Okay, now, let me make sure I don't skip nothing. I want to do this in the right order here. Okay, so let me show you. There's Neowise right now. So I can show you that. There you go. Okay, so now on July 8th, which was a Wednesday, which was the same day that they posted the sign of the Goonies at my local movie theater. And it was also the same day that Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a show, an episode, and it was called, I want to make sure I say it right, The Totally Excellent Adventure of Mack and the D. So they kind of used the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure thing. So let me tell you about what happens in in this episode. Let me get this off of here. Boom. So it starts out, they're traveling through time, back and forth in time, going back in time and then going forward in time. You never know where they're going to go. Mack and D, which is Deke in this is spoiler alert, by the way. Mack took a break off of the ship, and Deke went out after him to tell him that the ship was leaving again. They were going to go back in time again, and they got stuck back in 1982. So it goes from 82, and there's for sure it goes into 1983. They have mentions of 1985. And of course, 1985 was a lot of stuff with the Goonies. There was Short Circuit, Back to the Future, Mask, if you remember Mask from Cher. Now we got Mask. Breakfast Club, Mad Max, Weird Science, Teen Wolf, St. Elmo's Fire. Love St. Elmo's Fire. Color Purple, and Night of the Comet. Now, this could be something, Night of the Comet. I believe Night of the Comet was actually in 1984. It must have been at the end of 84, but it also grossed a little bit of money in 85. So when I must have been like a re-release or something, or maybe it was 84 that it came out. It was November 16th. Now, this date is going to be key. So pay attention to November 16th. If you go back, look at Martha Plimpton's birthday. It's November 16th, 1970. I don't think the 1970 is a number that needs to be mentioned, but November 16th is. So keep that in mind. There's more stuff that happens on November 16th. It's crazy. It's really weird stuff. Okay, so now let's see if I can go over here. I got this set up a different way, so I think this will work. It better work. There it goes. There it went. Okay, go back here. There we go. Okay, so I should be able to go like this and that, and then go like this, and hopefully this will share over there. Didn't work. Why isn't it? There we go. Okay, now it's loading. Hopefully that will load up over here. Or I have to share it over there now. Hold on. Get rid of... Whoa. I'm trying to figure out ways to make this work better. There we go. Okay, so now I should be able to go over here, and we should be able to go like this. All right, so let me go back over here, back to Streamyard, and hopefully this will show, and then I can pause it as we go. Each little picture is 5 seconds long. Okay, good. All right, I'll explain as we're going. I'm hoping this will work better because every time I try to do that. Okay, the first stuff is just about, this is how I discovered, but come on, stop now. It's not going to stop. I can't stop it. Really? The first ones are about Martha Plimpton. Gosh darn it. How come I can't stop it? There's always something every time. Why? It's going to go too fast, and I'm never going to get to stop it. Why? Wow. Come on. Oh, I have to go like this over here. There we go. Okay. All right. So jeez, I tell you. I'll have to do it over here. Okay. Hopefully, as long as you can see it, everything's good. Let me go back over here, make sure. Looks like it. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first one was about, this is how I discovered that, I wound up meeting and kissing Martha Plimpton, was she told me that she was an actress and she played in an episode of Family Ties. So that was an episode. It was, I got it right here. Family Ties, it was, where is it? Where to go now? Really? Well, it was December 19th. I remember now. I said them do it from memory. December 19th, 1985. It was season 4, episode 11. You've Got a Friend, and that's how I found out. It took me 31 years to realize who she was, but it's weird because I think it was all somehow meant to be now. At this moment in time. I could have discovered this many years ago, but never did. I think there was a reason for it. All right. Sorry. Moving on. Early picture. Goonies. And I'm guessing, this is from Parenthood, so I'm guessing this would have been around the exact same time that I met her. So I don't know exactly, because she was bald. She played a cancer patient in a movie, and she shaved her head, and she wore lots of wigs and hair pieces and extensions throughout the movie. But this is probably the closest. And that's Keanu Reeves. It's weird because I used to have hair kind of like that. It was really thick. It was long, but it was only went to about shoulders. I had mine a little bit longer, maybe not at that point in time, maybe a little bit. That was after, I guess, they had the baby in the movie. Here's Comet Neowise. Okay, now here we go into Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The first thing that happens is it shows River's End, and, of course, the year that they were in. Now, River's End, the only thing I come up with was River Phoenix. And there was a connection between River Phoenix and Martha Plimpton, and also the Phoenix brothers and Keanu Reeves. So I don't know exactly. And if there's anything else you guys happen to see or hear in this to add to this, please leave comments, because I'm sure there's something that I'll miss. Okay, moving on. It shows the name tag of this guy that works in an electronics store, and his name is Russell, which we will get to in a little bit, and Feldman Electronics. Feldman, Cory Feldman, Goonies, connection again to Martha Plimpton. Anything else I wanted to say about Cory Feldman? That was, I believe, he started in Gremlins right before that, the 84, and I believe that was his third movie. He also played in Friday the 13th Final Chapter in 1984. Okay, so that's about it for that. Moving on. I had two pictures because I was trying to get the word electronics to show up. This I don't think has any part to do with anything, but if anybody knows what the make and model of this car is, and maybe even a roundabout year, would be nice. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like the Comet that I used to have. I mean, but it didn't have the lift back in the back. So picture the car from the end of the driver's side door to the left. Forget about the back if you look at it that way. I don't know if that's a comet. If it is, that's another weird thing. Mercury comet, and Neowise just went past Mercury and the sun. Just some weird stuff. There's a flyer in here for Swayze's bar, and of course, thought of who? Patrick Swayze. Patrick Swayze had a movie in '89, Roadhouse, and in '89, same around time. I think it was May 19th that it came out, all around the same time again. Don't know if there's anything there either. And then they have Coulson. Coulson died. Well, he died a couple times. And then they brought him back as a robot, and then he blew himself up to save, to get rid of the chromacons. It's a long story. So then they just saved his memory on a hard drive, and they brought him back through a VCR and put him on here. But what does that look like to you? It looks like Mack's Headroom. And Mack's Headroom, where's my notes for Mack's Headroom? Come on, Mack's Headroom, where are you at? And I can't find it. Mack's Headroom. I wanted to give you the exact date, but it was 1985, all around the same time again. Where is it? I know I wrote it down somewhere. Come on, where are you? I don't want to take too much time here. Mack's Headroom. No, that's Mad Max. Not the same. Where is it? Darn it. Well, it was, I can't remember. I think it was May. Maybe it was April. Same, around about time again. Mack's Headroom, 85. 85 again was the Goonies year. All stuff about the 80s. Oh, they also had Zeke he created a band, and since he was from the future, he knew all the 80s songs. So he created a band and pretended that they wrote those 80s songs. And of course, one of them was "Don't You Forget About Me," from the Breakfast Club. Oh, there's Mack's Headroom. Mack's Headroom, April 4th. of 1985. And that was supposedly the same day that they stopped the filming on Parenthood. Last day of filming. And The Breakfast Club was released February 15th of 1985, which was my birthday. And, no, that was 85, not 89. Okay, sorry. Just trying to throw everything in here. All right, so moving on. Don't want to take too much time here doing this, but here's like a short circuit reference. I believe they only had 3 robots in here, and if you remember, number 5 is alive from Short Circuit. But it's just like a reference to it. And of course, that was 85 too. Also, this I don't know if it has anything to do with anything. I just saw this and I thought it was back there. Maybe it's a hidden message in there. Shark. I'm not sure, but it was there, and it like things catch my eye, and then I think, okay, maybe it means something, and that was it. So there's that. Let's get rid of that. Good job. I figured I'd do it this way. I think it works better this way, where I don't have to worry about it stopping and stalling and all that. Okay, so now let's get to the climax of this, the whole thing of what's happening and what I think this is. I think this might be, now this is just me, it could be something else, I don't know, but here's what I'm getting out of it. I think maybe possibly that there's going to be a comet or a meteor or meteors happening on November 16th. I don't know if it's 2020. I think it is. I don't think I would be getting this message if it was too far in advance. It could be 2021. I don't know. Possible. Okay, so I'm going through the comets, and there's Enki, of course, which is now brightening up too. I don't think Enki has anything to do with this, but if you never know. But I'm looking through this, and when I saw the name on that name tag, I knew Russell had to have something to do with something. So here's what I found. Wow, they knocked me offline. Sorry about that. Give me a second here. Unbelievable. It just amazes me. Try this again. Here's where I was trying to get to, and here's where they knocked me off. Maybe this is something after all. All right, so we got Comet 156/Russell linear. So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, what in the world? So I had to look it up. Here it is. Now, believe it or not, it's supposed to be at its, I guess, spot where it's the most noticeable. Where's it at? There it is, November 17th, which actually, if you look at this, where's the thing? It's supposed to move. Where is it? It's not doing it. Is it somewhere else? Where's it at now? Come on. There was a little video, and it showed it from 2 days, and it matches up. It actually was November 16th, late, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, going into early morning of the 17th. But it's not here for some reason. And it's at the exact same time as the Leonids meteor shower, which starts November 16th. Actually, it's a little bit before that, but the best visibility is late November 16th to early 17th. So it's weird that the meteor shower and the comet are lining up on the same day. So there's where I think this is. Maybe it's possibly November 16th of 2020. Just throwing it out there as a possibility. I am not saying that, you know, this is a fact that it's going to happen or not. We will have to wait and see. I had somebody that said, well, maybe it has something to do with Martha Plimpton. It will be her 50th birthday on November 16th. And this person was worried that maybe it had something to do with her, and maybe, you know, something was going to happen to her on that day. So Martha, if you're out there listening by any weird chance, just be careful on your birthday. Just throwing that out there. I'm not saying, you know, stop your life or anything, but just pay attention to also to anything else. It might not, I don't think it's about, you know, something happening to you on your birthday. I think it's something happening in the sky, in space. I think it's comets or meteors. So if anybody else has any more information that they would like to throw, maybe they heard something or just thought of something, let me know. And maybe eventually I will try to contact Martha. Maybe wait till it's closer to the time, you know, so she don't think I'm wacky and weird and crazy. But and Martha, if by any chance you're listening to this, do you remember? I'm guessing February, March of '89. You came over to my house right when you were filming Parenthood, and we were kissing. And then, you know, we were talking about stuff. But let me know if you remember that. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not stalking you or anything. I just, you know, it would just be like a confirmation acknowledgement thing. And this is just for, I don't know why all this happened, so I'm just throwing it out there just in case something does happen. Maybe it's a warning, a message from God. I don't know. So that's the whole thing. All this happened within a week's time. I found out about all this stuff, how it all connected and everything. It's crazy stuff. Maybe it's nothing, but it sure has a lot of weird coincidences with everything. You know, Comet Neowise, and then we have, you know, Keanu Reeves, and he was Neo. That night of the Comet, which was weird, which was on November 16th, I think it was released. Maybe they re-released it in, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was, on the thing it said it was 84. But when I looked it up, box office films from 85, it was on there and it said November 16th. Comet, and I don't know, it's just weird stuff. And, you know, Keanu Reeves just knew about it a week ago, and now Neowise is suddenly bright in the sky at the same exact time. Just some weird connections, and we got Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has some messages, and it's weird because that episode, right, the same week, all in that same week. So that's what makes me think there's something to it, because it all happened in 1 week's time. You know, this could have been spread out over many, many years, but it didn't. It all came now. So I'm not going to keep this going any longer. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And if there's anything that you can add to this, please comment. And just keep it in the back of your mind for November 16th when the time comes. You know, just be a little more careful on that day. Be a little more alert if something might happen. Maybe comets, maybe meteors. I don't know. And pray on it. You know, ask for Holy Spirit for discernment on it. And this is just a possible prediction. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just never hurts to side on the side of caution on things like this. So thanks for watching. God bless.